Okay, now we're at the fun part. We're going to do this row of diamonds here. Actually, it's 3 rows that make up these diamonds. And it's called Tunisian crochet, but it's really just it's a lot like single crochet. Once you learn to identify these little vertical lines, see how they're kind of rows there? Those vertical loops are going to be what we use in addition to going into regular stitches. We're going to be using those as stitches, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. But today's video is going to focus on this first row of triangles. And I'm going to show you that right now. So here's the hat I've been working on. I have finished all my double crochets and done my last row of single crochet. I just kind of like the way that trims up. And now I'm going to do a slip knot. There's going to be a slip knot in between every single triangle. So now I have 1 loop on the hook. Then I'm going to go into the next stitch here, and I'm using back loop simply because it's part of the design for this hat. Usually you might go through the whole top of the stitch, but in our case for this hat we kind of like the pattern of back loop only. So anyway, I'm going to go into the back loop there, yarn over and pull through. And here's where it's different from a single crochet. Instead of pulling through both loops, we're going to build and pull through 1 loop first, then pull through 2. And now you can see, I hope, we have our first vertical bar right there. It's always the furthest left of that last stitch. So now I'm going to go into that first vertical bar, yarn over, pull through, and then of course we have to move on to the next stitch. I'm going to yarn over and pull through, 3 loops on the hook. So now I'm going to yarn over, and we're building, so we're going to just pull through 1 at first to make that last vertical loop, then through 2, then 2. So now you can start to see we have a vertical loop right here. I'm going to try some different angles. Hopefully the camera will pick it up. And then of course that last vertical loop. We have 2 vertical loops to work with now. So I'm going to go through this vertical loop right here, through that last vertical loop, and then into the next stitch. And now we have 4 loops on our it's called a crochet hook. Yes, on our crochet hook. So now just yarn over, pull through 1, and then you're going to do yarn over, pull through 2, 2, 2. So now we have, and this is the best part. Once you get used to finding these vertical loops, you'll just recognize them automatically. It takes a little bit of time to get used to them, but once you can see them, this is easy peasy. So I have a vertical loop right here, another one right here, and then of course that one. That's the easy one. Okay, so I'm going to go through the first vertical loop here, yarn over and pull through, then the next vertical loop, that last vertical loop, and then of course the next stitch. So now this is where we finish up. We have 5 loops on the hook, and that's going to give us the top corner of the triangle. So same routine, just yarn over, pull through 1 first, then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, 2, oops, and 2. Okay, so now you can see the triangle, and you can see those rows that we created, sort of. You're going to see them better in just a second. So I'm going to show you how to close out this triangle so we can move on to the next one. All you're going to do is slip knot through each vertical loop. So go through that next vertical loop and do a slip knot. Then the next vertical loop, oops, I split the yarn, and a slip knot. And then the third vertical loop, slip knot, fourth vertical loop, slip knot, and then the fifth stitch is a slip knot into the next stitch. So there you have the first triangle. Let me get my thumb out of your way so you can see. Now you can see those rows and those vertical loops. Okay, so let's do one more triangle. Same exact thing. We're starting with the slip knot. Then we go into the next stitch, pull through once, then once, and 2. And into the vertical loop and into the next stitch. We have 3 loops on the hook. Pull through 1, then 2, then 2. And then go into the vertical loop there, vertical loop there, and then into the next stitch. So now we have 4 loops on our hook, and we're going to build. So we just pull through 1 to start, then 2, 2, 2, and then our last row, vertical, and we want to have 5 loops on our hook. And there we go. So pull through 1, then 2, and 2, 2, 2. And then all that's left is to do those slip knots in each vertical loop to close it out and make it nice and tidy. So into that next vertical loop again. See how the rows are developing here? See that little ladder there? That's what you want to watch for. As long as you've got that, you're doing it right. So into that first loop, yarn over, pull through. Into that next vertical, yarn over, pull through. We're just doing slip knots here. You're going to do it 5 times total, including the next stitch. So there's our 4th, and then a slip knot into the next stitch so that we can move on to the next triangle. So you can see we have dragon scales. This is a great stitch to learn how to do because it's so easy once you learn to recognize those vertical bars. And you can do so much with it, like amigurumi, or however you pronounce it. You could make a cool dragon. You can make some cool edging on some of your projects. You can use this for lots of stuff. So I hope you like it. Enjoy.